This formidable force, recognized for its discipline, organization, and innovation, didn't just sprout overnight. Its roots stretch back to the regal period spanning from 753 to 509 BC. During this era, Rome was a monarchy, and the army mirrored this structure. The king was the commander-in-chief, leading his men into battle. This army was not a standing force, but a levy en masse, a call to arms for every able-bodied man in times of war. This initial structure was simple yet effective, a testament to the pragmatic approach that characterized Roman society. But Rome didn't exist in isolation. It was surrounded by other civilizations, each with their military traditions. The Etruscans to the north and the Greeks to the south both had significant influence on the formation of the Roman army. The Romans were astute observers, borrowing and adapting elements from their neighbors to strengthen their military capabilities. They adopted the Etruscan round shield and the Greek phalanx formation, demonstrating their willingness to learn and evolve. As Rome transitioned from a monarchy to a republic, the army underwent significant changes too. The republic saw the introduction of the manipular system, a more flexible and dynamic formation. The citizen-soldier concept was also introduced, blurring the lines between civilian and military life. These changes were instrumental in transforming the Roman army from a band of warriors into a professional fighting force. In essence, the Roman army was a product of its time, shaped by cultural exchange, political evolution, and pragmatic adaptation. Its formation during the regal period was just the beginning of a journey that would see it become one of the most dominant military forces in history. Thus, the foundations of the mighty Roman army were laid during the regal period, setting the stage for its evolution into a dominant military force. So, how did the Roman army evolve from its humble beginnings into a military juggernaut? The Roman army didn't turn into a formidable force overnight. It was a process that took centuries, a process that was marked by strategic changes and reforms. During the Republican period, from 509 to 27 BC, the Roman army underwent a significant transformation. One of the key changes that took place during this period was the introduction of the manipular formation. This was a tactical formation that was superior to the phalanx, the formation used by most of the Roman army's adversaries. In a manipular formation, the soldiers were divided into 3 lines, each line consisting of men of different ages and experience. This formation offered more flexibility and maneuverability in different terrains, making it a great advantage in battle. But the manipular formation was just the beginning. As Rome expanded and faced new challenges, it became clear that a citizen army was not sufficient. The army needed to be professionalized. Enter Gaius Marius, a Roman general and statesman who is often credited with reforming the Roman army. The Marian reforms, as they're now known, were a series of measures that transformed the Roman army into a professional force. Marius did away with the property requirement for military service, opening up the ranks to the poorer citizens. He also standardized training and equipment, and introduced the cohort as the basic tactical unit. These changes were significant. They made the Roman army more inclusive, more efficient, and more effective. The transition from citizen soldiers to a standing army meant that Rome now had a professional military force at its disposal, a force that could be deployed at a moment's notice to any part of the empire. The Republican period was a time of significant change for the Roman army, transforming it into a professional military force that would conquer vast territories. And as we'll see in the next scene, this was just the beginning of the army's journey to becoming the dominant military power in the ancient world. So, what made the Roman army such a formidable force at its peak? Well, the answer lies in the unique characteristics of the Roman army during the imperial period, which spanned from 27 BC to 476 AD. This was a time when the Roman army transformed into a well-oiled military machine, a force to be reckoned with. At the heart of this transformation was the army's revolutionary organization. Unlike many of their contemporaries, the Romans had a highly structured military, with a clear chain of command. From the emperor at the top to the lowly foot soldiers, everyone knew their place and their role. This hierarchy allowed for efficient communication and command, ensuring that orders were swiftly carried out. Discipline was another crucial aspect. The Romans were a disciplined lot, and this extended to their military. Soldiers were expected to obey orders without question, and severe punishments were meted out to those who didn't. This ironclad discipline ensured cohesion and unity on the battlefield, making the Roman army a formidable opponent. Training also played a significant role. Roman soldiers went through rigorous training regimes, learning everything from basic combat skills to advanced tactical maneuvers. This ensured that each soldier was a competent fighter, capable of holding their own in battle. Then there were the tactics. The Romans were masters of strategy, often outthinking their enemies on the battlefield. Their use of formations, like the famous testudo or tortoise, allowed them to adapt to different combat situations, giving them an edge in battle. But the Roman army wasn't just Roman. A significant part of the force was made up of auxiliaries, non-Roman citizens who served in the army. These auxiliaries brought with them a variety of skills and expertise, further enhancing the army's capabilities. The imperial period saw the Roman army at its most powerful, a well-oiled military machine that was the backbone of the empire. What legacy did the Roman army leave behind, and how does it continue to influence us today? A question that invites us to look back and reflect on how the echoes of the past still resonate in our present. The Roman army, during its tenure, was not just a military force. It was a tool of cultural and civilizational exchange. As it stretched its arms across different regions, it carried with it the Roman way of life, spreading its influence far and wide, leaving an indelible mark on the cultures it touched. One of the most significant legacies of the Roman army is its military tactics. The principles of discipline, organization, and strategic planning, perfected by the Roman army, continue to be the bedrock of modern military strategies. The innovative formations and tactics used by the Romans, such as the testudo or tortoise formation, still find their echoes in today's battlefield strategies. But the Roman army's influence was not limited to the battlefield. It was also instrumental in shaping logistics and infrastructure. The Roman roads, an engineering marvel of their time, were primarily built to facilitate the movement of the Roman legions. Today, these roads, bridges, and fortifications not only stand as a testament to Roman engineering prowess, but have also significantly influenced modern infrastructure and logistics planning. Finally, the Roman army played a pivotal role in spreading Roman culture and civilization. As the legions moved, they brought with them the Roman language, laws, customs, and architectural styles, leading to a Romanization of the regions they conquered. This cultural diffusion has had a lasting impact, with Roman influences still visible in various aspects of Western culture, from architecture to legal systems. Despite its eventual fall, the legacy of the Roman army lives on, continuing to shape our world in ways both seen and unseen. The Roman army, in its rise and fall, has left a legacy that transcends time, reminding us of the indomitable power of human innovation, organization, and discipline. From the vast expanses of the Roman Empire, let's shift our focus and delve into the history of the most famous Christian Roman legions. This facet of Roman military history, often overlooked, played a significant role in the evolution of the Roman army. In the diverse religious landscape of the Roman Empire, Christianity found its way into the ranks of the Roman army. The concept of Christian Roman legions may seem paradoxical, given the often violent nature of military service and the peaceful teachings of Christianity. However, these legions were a reality, and they have left their mark on history. One of the most famous among these was the Theban Legion. Comprised entirely of Christians, this legion is remembered not for its military victories, but for the martyrdom of its members. The Theban Legion, led by St. Maurice, was stationed in the east of the empire. When ordered to participate in pagan sacrifices, they refused, holding steadfast to their faith. This act of defiance led to their decimation. The story of the Theban Legion stands as a testament to the strength of their faith and the challenges faced by Christian soldiers in the Roman army. Christian soldiers in the Roman army were often torn between their faith and their duty. The story of the Theban Legion is just one example of how these soldiers navigated these complex dynamics. Their faith influenced their actions, decisions, and ultimately, the course of their military service. The Christian Roman legions, though a lesser-known aspect of Roman military history, were instrumental in the evolution of the Roman army. Their presence and actions within the ranks of the Roman legions were a reflection of the changing religious landscape of the Roman Empire, and their stories add another layer to our understanding of the complex legacy of the Roman army.